Hi, I'm Tony Robinson. I've written this book, Bad Kids, the Worst Behaved Children in History, which is a sister book to another one that I wrote a couple of years ago called The Worst Children's Jobs in History. I decided I wanted to write another book about kids, but kids like I was when I was younger, because I was a bad kid. I bunked off school all the time. No one knew where I was. Sometimes I just used to go in for lunch and a game of football and then come out again. It was so bad that I didn't do any work for my O-levels, which were the exams we had in those days, and so I cheated. In my French exam, I wrote down these really complicated French words on the inside of my arm, and I just peppered my exam paper with them. I made one tactical error, which was that I forgot to write down what they meant in English. And I couldn't remember, so I just dotted them throughout the whole essay. Kids have had a lot of really gruesome punishments meted out to them over the centuries, but I think for sheer horribleness and brutality, the worst one was a South American one. They used to grind up a hot chili pepper, lift up the kids' eyelids, rub the chili on their eyes, then rub the eyelids and say to them, "See, you won't do that again in a hurry, will you?" Whatever it was you did. There's always been gangs. Even in ancient Greece, if a schoolmaster didn't have many pupils, then he was looked down on. So his pupils used to run around, kidnap other pupils and stick them in his class. There was one kid who was kidnapped one day, and the next day he was kidnapped from his kidnappers by other kidnappers. But a lot of the gangs into the 20th century modelled themselves on fierce American Indians. It was just what they'd seen in the first movies, and they loved the idea of these wild men. And so what these gangs used to do was they would creep into the cinema and they would see a pretty girl with a ponytail, and they would sit in the seats behind her, and they'd all got razors and knives, and they'd go and run out with the hair. It was their scalp, and they'd go around running down the street going. Bad Kids, The Worst Behaved Children in History by Tony Robinson.